Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us again on another episode of If You Don't Have It, You Can't Sell It. Again, I'm here joined by Craig Barnell, who runs Fisher's Finery, and myself, Ryan Carbone, at Inventory Optimizer. Today, we're talking about advertising yourself out of stock on Amazon and how this has become an increasing concern for many of our users, as well as most of Amazon sellers in general. So we're just going to talk about how we address that inside of Fisher's Finery and how Craig addresses that, and talk about some new features that we have in the pipeline in Inventory Optimizer that we're going to be excited to show you in the next coming weeks. So
Yeah,
on that note, I'm going to hand this off to Craig, and he has some very interesting things to show you.
yeah. Thanks, Ryan. It's great to be back. So, as you mentioned, we have this amazing feature set coming quickly that is going to allow inventory to help drive advertising and marketing decisions. And it goes all the way back to last year when I called you from California when I was at that meeting with Amazon Advertising and Quartile, and the folks from Amazon Advertising were there, and they talked about why would we overspend on advertising and marketing investment if we knew that our product was going to run out of stock? Slow your advertising spend, take those resources to other areas, and utilize them to grow your business, as opposed to selling. Even if something's accelerating or doing wonderfully, but if you don't have the stock to continue, slow it down, pull it back, keep your listing live, because we've talked about a million times when the listing of a child attribution goes down after 8 days, that contribution to the parent gets removed and the listing drops precipitously. It just crashes. So not only do you not want to overspend and waste dollars, resources on that campaign, you don't want to hurt your parent listing. So it has, a multitude of effects. It also transitions, as we know, Ryan, directly into seasonal products. If you know a season's ending, start to slow advertising, because you know that impressions, that search volume is going to drop, just based on seasonality. And so the product will allow us to do both. It'll allow us to set criteria that recognize when a season's coming. It'll allow us to analyze day supply of inventory, and if our pace of inventory is going to sell out in a window that we predetermine, it's going to notify us and allow us to drop advertising spend on every campaign it's in. If an ASIN's in 10 campaigns, it's going to let you know, and or it's going to allow you to increase the price to slow demand. So yeah, tremendously excited. But hey, if you don't mind, let's jump into to a seasonal product, because it parallels the same ideology and the same logic.
Sounds good.
All right. So I'm going to share our homepage here. And so this is just our Fisher's Finery homepage in Amazon. And typically one of our best-selling products coming through fall and winter is our cashmere collection. And you'll notice it's nowhere to be found because today is the first day of spring. So sales just naturally crash, right? It does sell, but it's dropping on this carousel. It's all the way down to, this populates by most popular products. It's dropped pretty far. Where 5 weeks ago it was right up here in the top. So what does that mean? And why is it important to look at products that way? So, the relation between ACoS, ROAS, and tacos is something that we've talked about a whole bunch of times. What our product is doing is we are looking at predicted sales velocity. We use AI, Ryan, right, to come up with a very sophisticated, exceptionally accurate forecast of what's going to happen in the future. Matter of fact, it's so accurate that this is a cashmere hat, men's black hat. Look at this, has happened year over year over year. So if we know what's going to be happening, this is historic data, this is forecasted data. If we know what's going to be happening, let's anticipate as opposed to react when it's too late. Let's slow our advertising spend down as we get into the end of winter and beginning of spring. It's predictable. So from the same reason that we're able to do that with seasonal products, we're able to take the same view of any product. It might not be a season, but it might be a total amount of allotted inventory. If you've got 500 units and your next 500 aren't going to be in for 60 days, if your advertising and your sales rate is going to sell out before the next replenishment order, Let's identify that. Let's give users the ability to decrease advertising spend on that ASIN or group of ASINs. Let's allow that customer the foresight to say, hey, this is what's happening. It's going to run out. Do you want to increase price? Do you want to drop the amount of money that you're spending in advertising? And that feature set is going to be so impactful. For the same reason, it allows us to do that with products like this that are actually running out, or the season is ending. It parallels the same logic of running out of stock or overspending when there's no demand. Um, the other thing that it does is it identifies products where you do have enough inventory to cover a horizon. Adequate, a little bit too much, or a lot too much. And if you've got more than you need, let's devote the resources in advertising and marketing to grow market share, to deliver that ad or impressions to a larger group of customers so we can drive sales volume in those products that we have enough inventory to run. If a advertising campaign or set of campaigns is incredibly effective, we're going to identify that right with our short-term sales velocity calculations, and we'll measure, hey, you've heated it up too much, you don't have enough inventory to continue, let's slow it down a little bit and redeploy assets. And the whole goal is, Ryan, is let's not spend money where we don't have enough inventory to run for a long period of time before our replenishment, and let's devote resources to where we do have enough inventory and or are overstocked so we can sell through that inventory and decrease our long-term storage fees.
Absolutely. I mean, and that is at the core of what our new function and feature set is going to be doing. We're going to allow you to pause a campaign or pause a particular item that's within that campaign if you have too little inventory of it for it, while at the same time you could start a advertising an existing paused item if you have too much or just the right amount of inventory. That way you could just be, I guess, more optimized to use the name of our company in your advertising as well as your inventory. And I think one of the things that a lot of our users out there will want to discuss and learn about is, Craig, and we could do this in another video, is to talk about building a campaign around seasonality, and building these seasonal campaigns, and then transitioning from one campaign to another, as the one item season's coming to an end, another item season is just starting.
Right.
So yeah, we'll be able to talk about that in the future, and I'm just so excited to be introducing this new functionality and this new feature to everybody. And we'll be showing you an inside scoop of the pre-release version of this, probably in the next couple weeks. And we'll show you how we reprice as well as how we adjust your ad spend based off of your inventory. And we take into account seasonality as well as sales velocities.
So Ryan, look where I have the mouse, right? That's historic data. That's what happened in February. Look at that
Yep.
number. We sold 250 the year before, 14 this year, and it was freezing cold.
Yeah.
So
Wonder what happened.
yeah, it's kind of obvious we ran out of stock. So, and then we obviously got replenished.
Well, it looks like you had a killer December, so
We did. But had this feature set been in effect, we would have noticed that the velocity had increased so dramatically that we weren't going to have enough product to carry through. We would have slowed advertising spend on these ASINs and devoted it to other ASINs that weren't heated up so much or weren't selling at that velocity. And this is a perfect encapsulation of why this feature set is so important. We advertised,
absolutely.
we were killing it, but we didn't have enough stock. So why spend here? So that's why I picked this ASIN. It's highly seasonal, but it experienced the exact issue that we're going to be solving.
Yeah, so to recap, is our new functionality will allow you the ability to pause this particular product in a campaign as well as reprice to a higher price, to limit that sales velocity until you have another shipment arrive, to restock and resupply that sales horizon.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, on that note, I thank everybody for joining us today. And again, I'm so excited to show you what we have coming. It's going to be very exciting for us, and I'm hoping that everybody out there is going to be excited too.
Yeah, Ryan, I think to sum it up is uh, if you have high confidence in your forecast and in your AI-driven capacity to present what's going to be happening in the future, you can make business decisions without guesswork. And that's what our program, that's what our platform does. It removes the guesswork. It allows you to deploy dollars, advertising, inventory to where you can decrease expense and increase revenue. And that's how we all win.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me today, Craig. And thank you, everybody out there, for joining us as well. And we're looking forward to speaking to you again soon. And please like, comment, subscribe. We try to read any of the comments that are here and provide any answers to any of your questions. Also, I'm going to put a link below to schedule a meeting with me, Craig, or David. And you could sit down with our team, discuss any questions that you have about your e-commerce business if you're just getting started, or if you're a seasoned seller and you want to start using Inventory Optimizer. We'll be happy to have that conversation. Thank you.
Sounds great. Thanks, Ryan.